Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the AlphaMasters League tournament here in From the Depths. So we have finished with the main part of the round 1 bracket. We are now on to the losers. Essentially, those who have previously lost will now all be fighting each other to see who further progresses. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing here in this episode. We're going to be checking out the next couple of matchups. And the first of those matchups will be between Kalen Loki with the Troll Pack and Fungi Amongi with the Tawa Opawa. Now, just to give you guys a quick recap, we're just going to look at these very briefly. The Troll Pack is a submarine squad consisting of 1 Bifrost M, 2 Bifrost Ls, and 1 Ratatosk, which is a scout ship. And the Tawa Opawa is just a sky fortress. So just a little bit of a visual for you guys to, keep in your head about what these ships looked like previously. So with that being said, let's go ahead and kick off this first battle. And this battle is underway. Now, if you recall, the Troll Pack actually has some custom Lua that's getting synced over this multiplayer hosted mode here, which does give us a little bit of a slowdown. So over here we have the Tawa Opawa. You can see the initial launch, the initial salvo of missiles there. Lasers are firing like mad. And we have the Troll Pack all underneath the water there. It is a submarine squad. You can see some of their initial goodness as well coming out of the water. So far, nobody has really lost any blocks, any health, even though we do have lasers firing. So let's take a look here. What do we have underneath the water? Is this a Bifrost L, I believe? It is. The submarines, the Bifrosts that have the laser, those are the Bifrost Ls. Generally, the more missile-related Bifrosts are the Bifrost M. And let's take another look here. So you can still see that Tawa Opawa firing that laser. Let's try to find out where that is going. This FPS is a little abysmal. Every now and then it does speed up. Looks like he might be going after this Bifrost down here. We do have some missiles firing, but I don't know if this laser is going to be effective. It is, so we have a little bit of damage here. Let's take a look at the damage report card. Everybody's at 100%. Now we can actually fit all the AI mainframes on the screen for once. That's impressive. So it's rather surprising. The lasers from the Tawa Opawa are just missing. And if we zoom in a little bit, some of these missiles that the Bifrost are shooting do get close, but it seems like they're falling short. Both these ships wanted to start at rather extreme distance from each other, so there's a little bit of closing that's going on here between the two. Here's one of the Bifrost Ls taking a good bit of damage here, slow but surely. So the lasers from the Tawa Opawa, they are having to shoot under the water. They are at a pretty good range here, and the angle of the laser as well, the damage they're doing is just, it's very, very minimal. The Bifrosts can repair, and that's what we're seeing here. Now, we do have a Bifrost M that has lost its mainframe. I don't know if we're going to be able to find it. You can see here we are getting a little bit better FPS with one of those Bifrosts down. Let's take a look at the top-down view here. Try to find that Bifrost M. It's going to be one of these. Let's go dip down, see what we can see. First off, Tawa Opawa still at 99%. It's looking like it is ahead. As far as this battle goes right now, it is definitely doing all right. Now, the Tawa Opawa doesn't have repair capabilities, and the Bifrosts do. The Troll Pack does. Okay, here's a little scout ship, doing okay. That is untouched. Here's one of the Bifrost Ls, down to 2,300 blocks. It is actually right over here near the Tawa Opawa. And this one, it looks like, the engines. It looks like it has some engine or some prop problems here. The whole back has been blown out. A lot of these have been hit by missiles. I don't know if the Tawa Opawa has torpedoes. I keep thinking it does. This might be the Bifrost M, which, yes, is down by about 600 blocks. That's why the mainframe has been blown out. For this battle, this is technically dead, unless these repair bots can somehow get it up and running. There you can see some torpedoes. What look to be torpedoes. These could be missiles, or both. I'm just not sure, but we'll find out. If these get above, yeah, those could be both. I mean, missiles don't work underwater. However, we have had a big explosion down here on this Bifrost. Looks like some major components have been hit. I want to say this might actually be the first bit of damage that I have actually seen happen here in this battle. All the other damage has been done off camera, and I haven't been able to get to it before the damage happened, but wow, this is really eating into this Bifrost. This Bifrost L is now sinking. Looks like you can see here some engine connectors. Those are flying up. Those have been destroyed. Oh boy, that laser is really, really eating into this Bifrost now. Perhaps it got within range based on the calculation, you know, for laser dissipation. This could have closed the gap just enough to cause a little bit more damage, but now the Bifrost L, blocks falling off. This one's just sinking back down. Oh wow, the whole front. Look at that, this whole front area just disconnected. I love seeing that. I mean, it's unfortunate, but I love seeing that. And we have another one down here. This one is completely upside down. Bifrost L down by about 1,000 blocks. All that we have left with an AI mainframe is the Ratatosk. Let's take a look. Oh yes, this other Bifrost, which has been dead, down for the count for a while now. Really close to the Tower of Power. I highly suggest not to have this happen to you. You know, I mean, if you're gonna be down for the count, don't do it right next to your foe. So you can see here, the laser is really trying to eat into this Bifrost M. Again, dissipation really, really minimalizes the damage, but it adds up. And I don't know if the repair bots on this have been broken or what is going on, but this is definitely down for the count as well. All we have left is the old Ratatosk. We're gonna have to go try to find that. Let's get a top-down view here. So here are the three. The main Bifrosts are now dead. Completely down for the count. And somewhere in this glorious world, we have a small Ratatosk. Where could he be? Oh, maybe he's... No, that's not him. Where could he be? I'm gonna go look around. We'll find him. Here he is. He's over here. What is he doing? Oh my gosh. He's just doing little circles. He's like, wee! Oh, is there a battle? Oh crap, guys, I'm sorry. Bifrost? Bifrost L? Bifrost M? Are you still alive? Is the battle still going? Is the Tower of Power up there? I don't want to go check. So if he's going to be over here just doing circles, I mean, you know, if he's not going to engage the enemy, and the Tower of Power is sitting pretty, it's over there, obviously prioritizing the larger enemy ships that are left, these three Bifrosts. I don't know, we'll have to see here, but wow, no, this Bifrost is definitely out. The Tower is really focusing on these guys, so we'll let this go for 5 more minutes. And if things are looking how they are now, we will give the win to the Tower of Power. The Ratatosk is just really far out, and if it doesn't want to converge and actually enter the foray, seems like it's, yep, just over here doing circles, endless circles. Then yes, we will give this to the Tower of Power. So we'll let this pan out, like I said, for 5 more minutes. So we'll be giving this battle to the Tower of Power by Fungi Among Guy. Great job, sir. There is still the Ratatosk on the Team Troll pack here. However, the Ratatosk, like I mentioned, is only doing one thing. Small circles right over near the spawn. This is right where everybody spawned. Here's the spawn area. And it's not trying to engage or do anything, and the Tower of Power is just completely ignoring it now. It was shooting at it for a bit, but yes, Fungi Among Guy, you'll be moving forward. Great job, and heck, let's go ahead and move on to the next matchup now. The next matchup we will be looking at is between Carol with the Shockwave and Ixos with the Luftschiff Bismarck. So the Shockwave, just to give you a quick recap, this is a multi-part submission. The Shockwave itself, it consists of the base and the torso, and remember, the torso will disconnect and become a submarine if the base is destroyed, and we also have 2 of the shock jockey helicopters. And they'll be going up against the Luftschiff Bismarck, which is a battleship / airship. Let's go ahead and get this battle started. So on our left, we have the Shockwave makeup, and on the right, we have the Luftschiff Bismarck, which we will just refer to as the Bismarck going forward. So here you can see those shock jockey helicopters. Already a little bit of damage taken by one of them. Shockwave, base, and torso unleashing lots of missiles, lots of cannon fire coming around here, especially from the Bismarck. You can see a lot of these shells starting to come in. However, they are tracking just a little bit behind the Shockwave itself. It seems like they were going after that base torso. So here are those lambs from the Bismarck, just utterly decimating all of the missiles that are coming in. We got a lot of shells incoming, a lot of missiles. Let's see if any of them are going to connect. We do have some connections here. Absolutely. A lot of smoke coming out as well. Heck, there's just a lot of everything going on the screen. The two are getting very close to each other. Let's get to the other side so we can see some of this damage that's coming in. There's that base and torso. Gosh, they are really close. Another volley of missiles coming into the Bismarck. Luckily, it doesn't have to worry about being in the water, so holes in the hull are no problem. It's the old double hull situation. Its meta is all get out. Let's get over here with the Shockwave. We won't worry about those little shock jockeys right now. This is the meat and bones of the battle. And look at these two, so close. So close. Give me a little screenshot action. One more, just for, good times. Gotta remember the good times. We are seeing some big explosions here on the Shockwave. There is a lot of action going on over here. If we get a damage report, see Shockwave torso is taking a little bit. Shock jockey down to 72%, and the Bismarck sitting pretty at 98. But these are now very close. The shells from the Bismarck are starting to connect. Now the Shockwave does have invisible shielding, kind of hard to see. But some of those shells are getting through and connecting, but not many. Not many at all. Let's follow this salvo of missiles that came from the Shockwave. Gosh, those lambs on the Bismarck are incredibly accurate. And look at this. Let's roll this beautiful beam footage, man. That's what I'm talking about. One of the shock jockeys is down in the water. The other one's over there, probably pondering what to do. Like, guys, I really can't do much against a battleship. I'm just throwing it out there. Again, the lambs on the Bismarck are just super accurate. It is very impressive. Cannons firing. Let's go over here. I want to just see how the Shockwave is doing. I feel like it might not be doing so hot. You know, it does have a very good amount of repairing capabilities. So it's up to 100%. The Bismarck is down to 97%, so well, let's see. We're down by one shock jockey. That's really all the damage that's been done on Team Shockwave here. Go Team Shockwave! And the Bismarck, I don't know if it has repairing capabilities, but it is such a large ship. Bismarck is like, 17,000 blocks or so? 18,000 blocks. Let's watch this cannon arc. You can see a lot of them are hitting the Shockwave. They're just bouncing off those shields. Look at all that. My goodness. So much DACA. It is awesome. Again, the lambs fending off another major missile attack. And the shields, of course, are doing wonders with all of these bullets coming in. This could be one of those battles that comes down to whoever runs out of repairing and or ammunition. That will really be a big identifier for who could potentially come out ahead here. And all of this, wow, I can't get over this. It's like crazy amounts of offense coming from both ships, and their defenses are just keeping it at bay. Just keeping it all at bay. It's like a best case scenario for ships, and also a worst case scenario at the same time. Again, Shockwave, a little bit of damage here, down to 98%. Bismarck down to 96. And they are so close. They are frighteningly close. Here you can see some of the back cannons on the Bismarck are focusing on the shock jockey. And things have frozen. Oh, we're back in business. Things unfroze. Yippee! Look how close these guys are. This is insane. What are y'all doing? Shock jockey? This isn't a shock jockey. This is the Shockwave. What are you talking about? Repairing itself back up. Torso at 97%. Bismarck, 96. And now they are separating just a little bit. Boy, were they close there. Wonder if any of those shells are going to land on the shock jockey over there. Let's see. They're getting what looks to be kind of close. Oh, I saw some bouncing. I see some bouncing. Will any connect? It doesn't look like it. Oh, major hit to the shock jockey. It is falling out of the air. I can't believe those landed. They got through those shields. Shock jockey is having a bad day. How are you doing, friend? Oh, you are, well, you're actually doing all right, all things considered. Health-wise, Shockwave is, from what it seems, still has a little bit of the upper hand right now. It's got the repairing, which is what is going on. I believe it is the Bismarck whose resources we can see down at the bottom of the screen there. And Bismarck has tons of metal, and that's about it. Everything else is very minimal. And I just don't know if the Bismarck has repairing capabilities. If it does, you know, it's... What is this mainly made up here on the outside? Wood? Most of the metal could be on the inside if there is any, or this just could be painted, but... Yeah, from what I'm seeing, not a lot of resource usage. Stuff dips down every now and then. Let's go ahead and get the interface back off. Shockwave and the Bismarck are now closing in on each other. They are getting really close. And with such close proximity, I mean, wow, if either of them just unleashes a salvo of anything, it would have a much higher chance of hitting. Here we go, little shot of missiles. Of course, the lambs, those lambs from the Bismarck just completely took everything out. Practically as they're coming out of the missile pods there. Yep, missiles just disappearing, boop, 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 and they're gone. Crazy effective. It's like the Bismarck is playing Missile Commander or something. It's so funny just watching these missiles disappear. And these two are converging again. It seems to be that at the furthest on their attack runs, they're around 1,600 meters apart before they both sort of circle back and come at each other for these extremely risky scenarios that you are seeing right now. Missiles from the Shockwave are connecting to the Bismarck, a few of them at least. Question is the Bismarck, oh my gosh. Oh, are these gonna hit? Or did the game just completely freeze? Game is definitely, oh boy. And no, we're back. Oh, I thought the game was gonna crash there. We even got the cursor. Look how close these two are getting. So unbelievably close. That was like a 2-meter flyby. That was, oh, they've detached. They have detached. Look at this. What's happening? The Shockwave torso is at 91%. The base is at 100. And they have detached. So the torso is now going to dive down. What could have caused that? I thought it was when the base was destroyed. The dock on the base. Ah, here they go. They're reconnecting. I think the dock on the... Oh, boy. Guy, he jumped right down in there. I want to say probably the dock is what got blown up there. And they were able to reconnect. That's the only thing I can surmise for what just happened. But now the Shockwave is sitting duck, essentially. If the Bismarck could broadside, get those cannons firing, it has a good opportunity to hit a stationary target. Granted, that stationary target has lots of shields. But, you know, hey, you're not moving, so the chance to hit is much greater. The torso doesn't seem to be healing up beyond 92%. And the Bismarck is sitting pretty at 95%. Really hasn't budged much in the last few minutes here. And there goes the Shockwave. Looks like it was able to get back up and running thanks to these balloons. Boy, I just really don't know what happened there. I thought we were for sure about to see the submarine. That would have been pretty interesting. Now, the Bismarck has torpedoes. So if this had gone down into the water, that could have been interesting. We may have seen another weapon system from the Bismarck being deployed there. A lot of cannon fire. We are going to follow this, and we still have a shock jockey. So things are progressing just slowly. Torso down to 90, back up to 92%. Looks like it is getting some heals every now and then. This is a very close battle right now. Very close. It could really go either way. The Shockwave over here is just having a really hard time getting out of the water. It will deploy the balloons, and it's because the base is dipped down into the water. The balloons will deploy, but then the Bismarck will fire the cannons, and it'll destroy some of the balloons, which will keep the Shockwave in the water. So really all it's doing right now is just kind of moving around very slowly. And the Bismarck is starting its circle back around now. A lot of cannon fire coming down. Let's see if any of these shells will connect. You know, luckily the Shockwave still has these shields on, though. I mean, see if any of the cannons will connect, not the shield. But the Shockwave still has the shields going. I did notice a few times where it was having engine problems, and all of the shields on the Shockwave, the torso at least, would flicker. And of course, during those times was when the Bismarck wasn't shooting. All right, here it comes. Bismarck is very close. Again, the missiles from the Shockwave, for the most part, I'd say like 99% of them do get destroyed by those lambs. But these cannons are super close. Let's see what's going to go over here. A lot of healing going on with the Shockwave. It'd be great if we could see the resources for both sides to see how they were doing. Unfortunately, it's just kind of a guessing game for us to, to try to understand what's going on with the builds. Are they out of resources? Is there another problem going on? Wow. Oh, hang on, I see a lot of missiles. What are these, torpedoes? We have torpedoes coming in now. The base is under the water. The balloons are, oh my goodness. Holy smokes. Little screenshot for the road there. Little road screenshot. Look at this. Major destruction on the Shockwave. We are seeing a whole side of it. These torpedoes are exploding. Oh my gosh. This is not a good scenario right now for the Shockwave. The Bismarck has torpedoes by the dozen. I mean, heck, it has multiple baker's dozens of torpedoes ready. It seems like the torso has now disengaged from the base. The base is down to 82%. Torso at 74%. They have disconnected. Once the torso gets away from the base, they will no longer be able to repair each other. And there is just a crazy amount of damage going on right now. Both are now dealing with the torpedo systems of the Bismarck, which are just incredible. They are a force to be reckoned with in and of itself. Here's the base. Base is not looking so great. Down to 59%. Torso to 65%. This could be the turning point of this match. Torso, major hit. Right in the middle of the torso. I just saw what seemed to be chain reaction explosions. Wow. Wow. The whole top of the Shockwave torso has been blown off. It's not quite what happened to the Venus, as those of you recall, blown in twain. This is completely different. This is just blown off. Another massive explosion. Oh boy. Oh my. Oh my goodness. Yes. Everything is going to be connecting now from the Bismarck. I'm seeing shields down. Smoke doesn't help that much. You can see the can. Oh my goodness. Huge explosion on the base. Oh man. Oh look, okay, they're close enough for a little bit of repairing. But again, cannon fire from the Bismarck. There it is, looking just ominous on the horizon there. Can we see any torpedoes being fired? I don't know if we have more coming. The Bismarck will fire those torpedoes when it gets close. Still just a little bit of healing going on. Shockwave, base is down to 11%. Torso, 46%. Shock Jockey is all that is surviving for the most part. Alright, we know that this battleship is definitely gonna... There go those torpedoes. You can see them right now. Shooting straight down. Look at all of them. Those are gonna be coming over here, and that's probably gonna finish this off. I think it goes without saying that the Shock Jockey probably won't be able to repel the Bismarck. In fact, the Shock Jockey's getting laced. He's like, oh lordy, what have I done? I'm going the wrong direction. He is getting smoked. More torpedoes from the Bismarck. There are those torpedo systems. You can see them all here. Let's go ahead and find the Shock Jockey. I keep wanting to say the Shock Jockey, the Shockwave. Here come the torpedoes. You can see them over here. Look at this. This will be the finishing blow right here. Shock Jockey down to 93%. He's over there. He's doing okay so far. You know, not the worst. Oh, torpedoes firing directly. Oh my gosh. Here they come. Goodbye, sweet Shockwave torso. It's been real, my friend. Look at all of these torpedoes. I love it. I love it. It just makes me laugh how incredible it is. There is nothing that would withstand this. There is nothing that would withstand this. And I can't believe it didn't do more damage than that. Wow, I thought this all would have just been totally obliterated. So just the Shock Jockey over here. I don't think it's going to be able to do much. There, you know, we just saw a cannon hit. The lasers are now connecting. Let's take a look at the health on the old SJ. 799 of 972. You can see how minimal this laser damage is shooting through smoke. You know, just highly minimal. And the Shock Jockeys do have a lot of shields, but looks like we had some major hits there. Oh boy. Oh boy. We're just gonna, I mean, we know this is going to the Bismarck, absolutely. But we're just gonna watch the shock jockey go down here. As soon as it touches the water, we will call it. Come on, boy. You gonna get back up? Give us a chance. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I mean, the moment it hits the water, like anything goes. Cannons are gonna be more accurate from the Bismarck. And there we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are gonna give this to Ixos with the Luftschiff Bismarck. Great job to you both, but Ixos, you will be moving forward. This was a good one. You know, it was such a close battle all the way up until about the last 5 minutes. And it was all, once that shockwave hit the water and the balloons couldn't get it out, it gave the Bismarck the chance it needed to strike. And it definitely capitalized on that chance. So great battle on this one. So ladies and gentlemen, we will end this episode here. And going forward, we will finish up the losers bracket here in round 1 before we move on to round 2 of the finals. So ladies and gentlemen, hope you all have an absolutely great one. Take it easy and stay classy. Oh, and there it is. That was the explosion I was looking for. Oh my God, I'm so sorry, little shock jockey. Oh, Jesus. Oh, yeah, are you okay? Please be okay. No, you are completely the opposite of okay right now.